The story has it that Steve Vai was actually concerned with whether or not they actually liked his parts because so many changes had been made to the song after he had laid them down. When in reality, Tim Henson and the gang were very inspired by what he had done, so they had continued to build up the song around the parts that Steve Vai had laid down. Now, what's also interesting is that Steve Vai had said, usually when I lay down stuff for people, they usually take it as it is. But when you look back on Steve Vai's career, especially when he was tasked to put together the Whitesnake album, Steve Vai took their music into his studio and just went absolutely nuts. It was kind of surprising reading that Steve Vai was so taken aback when Polyphia had chopped up his guitar solo, essentially. But the thing is that Vai gave them so much to work with. I mean, that's Steve Vai for you. He's one of the greats. And for a lot of us who are new to Polyphia's music, I, for one, probably Steve Vai and many other people from our musical generation, find them to be unpredictable, which also makes them so fun to listen to and watch. Even the ever unpredictable Steve Vai was able to be a bit thrown off by the unpredictability. So I found that to be kind of ironic. But what you have here is a phenomenal blend of talent. Because even though Polyphia's music would be considered new generation, it's also drawing on a lot of influences that I'm hearing. I'm hearing things like Norman Brown and George Benson influences in Tim Henson's playing. A lot of smooth jazz mixed up with prog rock. You bring in Steve Vai, who of course is heavily influenced by Frank Zappa and some of the complex musicality of the pieces that he had to do with him back in the day. Which continues to show in his music currently. And it makes Polyphia's Ego Death one of the standout pieces of music. Now, Tim Henson's approach to this was quoted as being more like puzzle pieces, assembling them. So he had told Steve Vai, hey, just go crazy, do what you do on the track. And then when he got Vai's tracks back, that's when they really got to work at assembling it. And according to a live stream that Vai did with the members of Polyphia, the band had to work really hard to get their parts all tight and put together, with Tim Henson spending 6 hours on a single part. Steve Vai was blown away by Polyphia since the first time that he had heard them. He really liked the way that they thought outside of the box, using a combination of syncopation with both a very tight, precise, and clean way of playing and locking in together. And Steve's approach on the solo was to actually take more of a long, relaxed approach with his notes to counterbalance that very tight, precise, fast-paced off-time movement that Polyphia was taking. So together, they all wove an incredible tapestry. Now, the response has been positive. Of course, there were the typical young guys getting together with their grandpa jokes, which is to be expected. But what it looks like a lot of people are missing is the fact that the throne was used 3 times in the video. First, Tim Henson takes the throne, doing some killer slapping bits. Then it's Scotty LePage's turn, bringing much more of a modern metal influence to it. Finally, Vai taking the throne. With each one of them leaving the throne and adding to the pile of what we had, which is Ego Death. So the entire video tells a story, even down to the very end where you had the person on the trumpet who was not on a throne. So it's almost like everything just kind of culminated up, and the very result at the end was the person playing the trumpet, as in the ego is all gone. I mean, that's what I took away from it. So there's a lot of poetry in the editing of the video, as well as the way the song built up and the way each complemented the parts coming in. So this could not go without covering. I want to thank you for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe. You are now in the family.